When I was 7, I always felt the calling to do music. And I literally just was like, went up to I have 3 older brothers, and I went up to my brother and I was like, we should start a band. And it was kind of just like a stupid, like little kid idea. And it turned into something really serious. And I was the lead singer. I did backup guitar, piano, and we toured like the US, and we did like coffee shops and just small venues, schools,
Wow.
churches, a lot of fun, but definitely the best experience of my life so far, like my favorite memories.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Inner Sleeve, the podcast taking a behind-the-scenes look at all things music. Cassius is here. Joe Pacheco joining me on the line. What's up, Joe?
Not much, my man. Just enjoying the nice, chill, less brutally hot weather of the week so far. So it's pretty nice. How about you?
We've been definitely very lucky and blessed, I think, in the end of September here in Canada, but definitely enjoying. And, you know, as we're about to touch on, definitely noticing there's a lot of concerts out. I actually have a show lined up for tonight, so this is going to go with the theme of our stories that are coming up in just a moment. Real quick, if you're a brand new listener, don't forget to go hit that subscribe button on SoundMojo. We have the show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify every single week, so make sure to go check us out. Also, daily content on our YouTube channel and socials at SoundMojo. Today's guest on the show is the one and only KG Crown, the pop singer, songwriter, model, and actress. We have a ton of stuff to chat about with her, and it's going to be very exciting to share this interview with you guys. A lot of good tips, especially for up-and-coming artists. You know, we love to talk to the major guys that have been established for 20, 30 years, but it's also good to hear from people who are just becoming more so established in the business, so you guys can take that advice and run with it. So you're definitely going to enjoy this coming up. Jumping into some news from the world of rock and metal, Tobias Forge of Ghost has taken on the world of concerts and tours in 2022 leading into 2023. Now, I'm always interested to hear this, Joe. One, because Tobias he just thinks differently. He always has something cool to say, but he also doesn't mince words, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's right here because like I was thinking exactly this, and when this showed up on my feed, I'm like, oh my god, okay, we got to talk about it because I'm feeling like I'm inundated with concerts, announcements of concerts, shows that are coming, shows that are happening in a year from now. And then like I'm always like, oh, Bryan Adams was just in town last night. Oh, I missed this guy. Oh my god, I didn't even know about that guy. Like I just feel like I can't keep up, you know.
That's
being
the thing.
Inundated. So after like 2 years of nothing, which I understand these bands like, you know, they have to survive. They have to pay their crew, pay themselves, and make money. And look, you know, like royalties are one thing. If you're at this level, maybe you're making money at royalties. But when you're at like the level of some of the artists that you're going to see here in the future that we pre-taped, where they're like, that's their bread and butter. They almost have to go back to work and take jobs to be able to sustain themselves so that when touring does come, they can make real money, as you say, or like the money that's where they make their bread and butter. So what do you think? Too many shows?
I think there's almost too many, Joe, but honestly, I think that the real issue is they're too pricey. You know, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
If we would be able to lower the tickets a bit, maybe this wouldn't be as much of a problem. But I think it's a mixture of people rushing back out to do what they had their, you know, sights set on in 2020, and also people trying to make back that money. You know, there's no way you can argue that it's reasonable to charge $500 to sit in the nosebleeds of a stadium to see Motley Crue. So again, if they were charging $65 for those tickets, maybe more people could come to more shows.
100%. That's definitely one of the reasons why I don't go see, didn't go see the stadium tour.
And Vince Neil can't sing.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a reason. But like even, you know, like Roger Waters, you know, which I think you're going to see, lucky.
Yes, I have him lined up here this week, so this is going to be very exciting.
But I didn't go see him because it was $250 and up, you know, for a ticket, you know. So I'm like, I didn't go see him. And actually, I'm going to see Ghost this Friday, but it was an invite, so it's very cheap. So it's not, you know, that's why I said yes, because I've never seen these guys perform live, and I've always heard, you know, that like if you want to see Ghost, you got to see Ghost. It's the show, you know, it's a nice show. So I wish you the best, man, for Roger Waters. I'm kind of jealous because like I never got to see him on his own. I have seen Gilmore and the rest of the band.
Okay, that's
like,
cool.
I think you're in for like obviously a wicked show.
Man, I'm super excited, and you know, like one of the best to ever do it, no doubt. So yeah, we'll have an update for that for you guys soon. Some sad news coming out of the world of hip hop. Rapper PnB Rock was recently just shot and killed in the city of Los Angeles. This, of course, coming as a huge shock to people, as there wasn't really anything that seemed to be provoking this except for some newly formed details that people are suspecting may have led to this killing. So the only thing people can suspect is that Instagram may have located the rapper for people to go and find him. There was apparently an accidental leak of PnB Rock's address. He had posted a gift bag with his address on Instagram the day before he was killed. And the day he was killed, his girlfriend posted a photo of them at the Roscoe's restaurant, which ended up potentially leading to the killing, Joe. I mean, I don't think it's fair to say that this was definitely it, but there is speculation.
Yeah, there's that, and we were speculating before about, like, I was speculating anyway about, like, maybe it's, you know, is there something that he pissed somebody off? Did he, you know, and like, is it because, like, jealousy thing, you know, like the fact that he's seeing success and stuff and some people aren't, but I mean, it's all speculation. We don't know exactly what's going on. It's just sad that, like, you're going to post on Instagram or somebody posts, because it's out of your control. Let's say you're in a group of 20 people, right? And you have this big meeting or a big place and somebody posts, hey, I'm with XXX at this place. Some guy pops in and starts to, you know, shoot people. It's like, it's really scary, man. It's like, it's dangerous.
It's horrible too. And like you say, you know, the people who stay where they were born, they stay around those same people in those same areas. Those folks do develop envy, especially in hip hop, because I think it's a lot more dog eat dog in some of these communities when it comes to this genre of music. And it's like a sickness in the world of hip hop. So I would really like to see this end. I don't think making songs is a crime that should be punished by death. You know, I don't see the point of this. So it's very senseless, and hopefully this can stop soon. Hopping over to some news from Kid Cudi. Netflix has just announced that a brand new show is in the works called Entergalactic, coming from the mind of none other than Scott Mescudi himself. Now, Kid Cudi, known, of course, for his creativity, his different ideas, and basically just his creative mindset all in all. And he's gotten together with some pretty heavy names to play the characters in this show as well. We have Jessica Williams, Vanessa Hudgens, Timothy Chalamet, and Ty Dolla $ign, who are going to be appearing in this show. And also we see that it features Macaulay Culkin, Jaden Smith, and 070 Shake, which is, I mean, what a cast of characters, first of all.
Yeah, I know, it looks cool. I watched the trailer and I was like, I love the style of the animation. The sound was cool. Like, it seems like it's gonna, you know, there's gonna be a lot of music in there. But when I say music, I mean like in the sense of like probably featuring bigger chunks of songs than we're used to in terms of like movies or series, you know. And so this is slated to begin September 30th, so really soon. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. Like, it's different, you know. It's more like a love story, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's based on finding love in New York City, or I guess a city that's based on it. The other thing that really stood out to me is the fact that the animation is so much different than, you know, the typical animated show, which I think is a big challenge. You know, you don't want to go Family Guy, you don't want to go South Park. There's only so many options that you can do, right, without making it an anime straight up. I think this style blends anime with some of that trademark style and almost some of that like 3D Disney animation style too.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's a bit of anime, a bit of like 3D, like you were saying, you know, it's very nice. Anyways, what I saw, I was really like, wow, this looks like it'd be a fun watch, something to really enjoy, you know?
Do you think you'll end up checking this out?
For sure. Yeah, I think so.
I think I'll definitely watch it too. It's cool. And also cool to see Kid Cudi on tour. I'm going to be checking him out in a couple weeks here as well in Vancouver. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be awesome. Now, on the SoundMojo Community tab, we asked you guys to drop your music suggestions for us to listen to this week, as we do every other week. And we got an awesome, healthy batch of suggestions here from all different genres.
Yeah, nice plethora, I like to use, of genres and suggestions. First up, Colton R. Magby, Rammstein. I was excited. As soon as I saw Rammstein, I'm like, yes, let's listen to that. Something I haven't heard yet because it's very new. Dick Titan. You know, it's pretty obvious what it means.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, definitely.
This one rocks hard though. This came sort of from like the mythical sort of songs from Germany. Is that right? Like one of those old songs.
Yeah, and it feels like you know, it's like it's a really nice blend of like folklore, right? German folklore kind of music, but with like the classic Rammstein punch, you know, like just like in your face, crazy production, always like funny, you know, there's always something interesting,
comedic
funny
element.
Yeah, you know, visually the video looks like it's a movie, and you know, it's like it's just top quality of what we've come to expect from Rammstein, you know, and funny. Powerwolf, band I've always seen, seen written everywhere. We even see it on our feeds, in our emails, as like, you know, when they're releasing stuff, or like when they're doing interviews and stuff for us to reach out to. But I checked out the song, you know, like I never went to check them out, and right away, instant vibes of like power metal, classic Halloween, but evolved, you know, in a different way and in their own way. So I enjoyed it.
I definitely think the energy is there. Maybe not my cup of tea, but the energy was definitely there.
Yeah, and what about 16 Tons, Jeff Castellucci?
I felt like his voice weighed 16 tons when I was hearing it. So cool. You know, I don't know how the hell you learn how to sing like this, Joe. I mean, I wonder if this dude has a very deep voice in person, or if it's an acquired singing skill.
I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, you're next. You're next up with a single.
Yeah, wow. I can't like. Anyway, no. This is like, as soon as I saw the title, because I have a special story behind the song. But like, I mean, when I heard it right away, that low voice, I was like, what? And I see this guy looks young. He doesn't look like he's an older dude with a low voice. And man, he sang the whole way that way, harmonized and everything. Instruments as well, all with the mouth, is really good. I really enjoyed it. And 16 Tons for me is one of the first songs I've ever learned on guitar.
Oh wow!
Like back in the day when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I remember I learned like, you know, Beatles, some, you know, Hound Dog by Elvis Presley,
classics,
and 16 Tons, you know, some folklore type of songs. It was fun. So that's why this one's a little bit more special for me. Next up, Home Free Brother. This one, I loved vocal harmonies. Throughout, they were like so well orchestrated and arranged. The only thing that sort of like, as I was watching the video, I enjoyed the video in terms of how funny it was, because it was like medieval fighting and in a football game setting. But I find it didn't marry too well with the song. But I mean, you know, that's just me. What about Gogol Bordello? Again, we're gonna have to have a hard time saying it. Imigraniada.
This is the one I really liked, actually. This one was, first of all, I was struck by the way this guy's voice sounded. And I mean, just thinking about making a song around having a voice like that is stunning to me. I think also the punky, sort of defiant nature of these lyrics I really liked. It was sort of like, F you, I won't do what you tell me type of energy, which I like, which I think is cool. And definitely an engaging character all around this guy. What'd you think of this one, Joe?
Yeah, this one, like I thought, like you said, same thing. When I heard the voice, I was like, okay, quirky, interesting. Usually I love that stuff, you know, and then like, I got the punk vibe and like, okay, I understand now, you know, but for some reason, like, it's good, nothing wrong with it, just not my cup of tea, not something I would like search up, you know, or like seek out is what I meant to say. But definitely thanks to Here for suggesting that one, and also suggesting Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. What'd you think of that one?
This one was okay. You know, I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge ska guy. I don't really go that deep down into it, except for like the real basics, like Sublime, which I think is like the McDonald's of ska. Yeah. So I mean, you know, it doesn't really count. But yeah, this was cool. I usually like Tokyo stuff, but this wouldn't be on my playlist, I don't think.
Yeah, same thing, you know, like I put interesting, legit ska feel, everything. Me too, like I'm surface level on ska, like literally whatever I've heard on the radio or like what's popular, like you said, Sublime, that kind of stuff. But also not a huge fan of the song as well. It's okay, you know, like nothing wrong with it, but yeah. What about Delta Heavy, White Flag?
This one I really liked. This was actually the one I think I added the fastest to my playlist. Definitely just cool, ethereal kind of vibes to it. It definitely reminds me of the singer FKA Twigs, female singer who just has this, again, real spacey, electronic influence stuff. Definitely, I like the way that they produce her voice throughout the whole hook. They use it as sort of a sample as well as a vocal track. I thought the song was super strong.
Same here, man. I definitely dug the song, and I thought the video was really cool. That's pretty much the notes I put up. You know, I didn't have too much on it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go back to Colton. We have... this one, last one here. Lindsey Sterling featuring Lizzie. I get those Lindsey and Lizzie. I get them. Shatter Me. What'd you think of this one?
A little bit of violin mixed with some of that rock and roll vocal. I think it was cool. The visuals were stunning. I was wondering how long it might have taken to make a video like this, because I mean it looks so cool. But sonically, I think it's awesome, and I think Lizzie Hale is one of the cooler singers out there, really carrying the torch. I mean, when it comes to big rock bands, Hailstorm is one of the names that's mentioned, and I think it's well deserved and for a reason.
Yeah, I love thought the video was cool. The song was great. No issues with the song personally. I did like the fact that the violin, which is Lindsay Sterling, her violin playing was cool. And also like the fact that she used the violin almost like in a dubstep sort of part in the song. And then the song goes back like maybe 8 or 9 years, and that's when like dubstep was like really still like popular, and still in I don't know if it's still popular or not.
The Skrillex days.
Yeah, that's it. But I know a lot of people either love or hate. I don't know if there's a middle ground. With
I don't think there is. I think the closest we ever got was maybe like when LMFAO like started doing dubstep on the radio. You know what I mean? But again, that's so commercialized. I'm sure that a true dubstep head would say that's not dubstep at all.
Exactly, that's it. So let's check out. What about Bob Marley? I mean, like it was.
Didn't have to search that one up.
That's it. What's there to say about Bob Marley? The fact that it's great. It's just it's always it's a classic. It's a staple. Throw a party, put on some Bob Marley. It's gonna go well.
The thing for me with the Bob Marley is that I think it's good to look at the stuff that's a little deeper. I like his greatest hits, the Bob Marley Legend album. Yeah. But if you guys have ever been to a resort or any sort of tropical thing, that's what they're always playing. So I would say if you like Bob Marley from the greatest hits, look at the albums like Survival. Look at the albums like, I can't remember even the albums' names now. But that's what I mean. That's the thing with Bob Marley. People remember the song names. So I would just say keep digging in with the songs. And he has definitely hidden gems in there that are mostly, unregarded. If that's a word. I don't think it is.
It doesn't matter. You said
it's a word now.
Yeah, exactly. Game X Simmons is back with Chaos Crab Bucket. Now this was woo, man. That's
some classic friggin' Canadian rap.
Yeah, and like it's funny because like I still remember the first time, not necessarily the song, but I forgot what his first video was, and I was instantly mesmerized and like I love this guy. I like this guy already. And then fast forward a few years, he released Joyful Rebellion, that album.
Yeah.
And I just loved that album. I played it like endless. It was the first album I think I put on my iPod back in the day when there was the iPod days. And it was a 40 gig. I was all right. And I just slapped that, I just bought that CD and I threw it all in there. And I just listened to it forever. Such a good album, so diverse, such an underrated artist for sure. Like I say this all the time, criminally underrated in terms of an album and in terms of just an artist, That's what I think.
I completely agree. And, Drake bringing him out on stage a couple months ago with Nelly Furtado, and he gave Chaos his respect. He said, this man right here is one of the greatest to ever do it. He said he inspired me to do it. Because when you think about it, Drake gets the credit for singing and rapping. But if you really trace it back, guys, it was Chaos from Toronto who was singing and rapping first.
There you go. Nothing else needs to be added.
Yes, we can't add to that.
And then we have Not Donald Fagan, who suggested my favorite of the week, Janelle Monáe, the Arcandroid. So
she had good feels on this.
Yeah, this is an album, but I listened to the first 4 tracks as I was working, and in those first four tracks, like I've come to expect when I see the name Janelle Monáe, I know it's going to be really good. It's going to be cool. It's going to be different and unique.
Unique, exactly.
Yeah, and just within those 4 songs that I listened to already, all of those were true. So it's like. So this is definitely my favorite of the week suggestion. You familiar?
I think my favorite so far would have to be the White Flag by Delta Heavy. Nice. There's something I really like about when they can make someone's voice part of the musical production. Using the human voice as an instrument in some way is so cool to me. And again, I've been getting into that stuff lately. So yeah, this was definitely my favorite of the week, and we appreciate you guys sending in these suggestions. We can't wait for you guys to send in more. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for those posts. Maybe we'll react to your song. Now we're going to hop over to our interview portion of today's show with the one and only KG Crown. Of course, she is a singer, songwriter, model, actress, TikToker, YouTuber. I mean, there's nothing that KG doesn't do, and we talked to her about all different aspects of her career. There's a lot of interesting aspects of this too, as we're going to talk about a little bit after the interview, mixing all these different fields. We feel like this is a much more, or at least I'm speaking for myself, Joe, I feel like this is a much more common thing nowadays that you're starting to see more of.
Yeah, we're starting to see more and more of this. Like, it's 2 artists we've already had on recently, like in the last few months, that are similar. They all started really young, then like in either modeling, acting, or singing, or a combination thereof,
interesting career paths all the way around. And again, this is very important for all of our up and coming artists out there. I would say take notes. You know, if you're an indie artist and you want to get out there, you want to get discovered, and you want to figure out what the climate is like today in this business, conversations like these are, I would say, essential listening for you. So hopefully you enjoy it, get a lot of takeaways from it, and we'll catch you guys right afterwards.
And I've lost my picture perfect love. I gave you so much, and all that I got was this ocean of nothing, and this broken picture perfect love.
Awesome. KG Crown, thank you so much for joining us on Inner Sleeve.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
100%. So, I mean, obviously a big day for you right now. The brand new single just dropped, Picture Perfect Love. You know, maybe tell us a little bit about leading up to this release and sort of the single drops that you've had laid out.
Yeah, I wrote Picture Perfect Love. I literally just made recently. I wrote it with the help of my producers. It was a really fun experience. I wrote Picture Perfect Love about one of my past relationships. It's really just about how hard it is to like watch someone you love like move on in life with other people, and it's really just like the ultimate breakup love song. And so I literally just released it like the other day, so I'm very excited with people hearing it, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it as well.
Very cool. So, I mean, was that something that's a challenge for you? Because, you know, going back into those emotions, it can't be necessarily fun, but I mean, I wonder if it was easy, hard.
I mean, it can be hard, but again, like when I write music, like I want to write about things that I'm feeling. It's kind of like a diary. Like that's what makes me be able to write a good song, is about my past experiences. And it actually relieves like a lot of stress for me. Like it's like getting it out there and releasing it. And that's something that I like.
Is there ever a song you weren't able to finish yet?
I usually like to finish them. Like I like to finish what I'm working on, just because again, like I just feel proud of it at the end.
No, 100%. So, I mean, you've been doing music for a very long time. I mean, I'm seeing here that you sort of were the lead singer of a band at 7 years old. Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yes. When I was 7, I always felt the calling to do music. And I literally just was like, I have 3 older brothers, and I went up to my brother and I was like, we should start a band. And it was kind of just like a stupid, like little kid idea. And it turned into something really serious. And I was the lead singer. I did backup guitar, piano, and we toured like the US, and we did like coffee shops and just small venues, schools, churches. A lot of fun, but definitely the best experience of my life so far. Like my favorite memories.
So your family, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say, when you say touring, because like you're young, right? So like touring is like what, during the summer, off days, right? Obviously. It was,
yeah, obviously the summer, because then I was in person school, but now I'm homeschooled, so it makes things a lot easier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'll assume that your family or your parents must have been pretty supportive of this, because obviously you would need them to get the wheels in motion at that time.
Yes, yeah, my dad works, so it was really my mom who took us everywhere and helped us out with that. But I mean, they're both supportive of it, and yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. So, I mean, at what age did you really discover music? Was it at 7, or do you remember anything before that, you know, musically?
It was really 7, honestly. Like, I remember, like, just being in my bedroom, and I had, like, this radio that my parents gave me, and I was trying to figure out how to work it, and I just turned it on, and I fell in love with what I heard.
Nice. Was it poppy music, or what type of music do you remember?
It was actually Christian music. So I did a Christian band with my brothers, and now I do pop music. So it was a big transition there.
Was it a smooth transition?
A smooth transition?
Was it like any bumps in the road, or it's just business as usual?
I mean, it's different, you know, going from Christian music to pop music, like the viewpoints from Christian music and pop music, they're very different. But I really think that I made the right decision, and I got comfortable, and I'm happy with where I am.
No, 100%. So, I mean, in terms of the other things that you do, we know that you do modeling. You've been in multiple, big nationwide advertising campaigns and magazines. At what age did that get started for you? And how does that does that intertwine with your music at all?
I started modeling when I was pretty young too. I did it again, like probably around like 8 or 9 I started. I was with Ford models as a little kid, and I mean, I like modeling a lot. Like, I love fashion. Like, I'm obsessed with fashion. So it kind of goes together. And I think it also helps me in the music industry as well, kind of finding myself as an artist and the things I wear and all that type of stuff.
How long would you say a typical day is of a modeling shoot? Let's say you're doing a shoot for a campaign. Is it just one day? Is it multiple days?
I mean, it really depends on the shoot. For the things that I've done in the past, it usually you wake up at like 4:30 to 5 a.m. So super early start.
Wow.
Go to the shoot. You have hair and makeup there. It can take you like literally like 2 hours getting ready, and then the whole entire day you're shooting a whole bunch of outfits. So I would say it starts around 5 a.m. and probably wraps up around probably you get home around like 9, 10 p.m. So it is really the whole day.
Man, because it seems like modeling has this strange perception that maybe there's something easy about it, but I don't see that, especially being a photographer. I can definitely understand that it must be very tiring and it's a lot of work.
It is, but I mean, if you're someone who models and you like it, like you're having fun in the process because you're spending hours doing something that you love. So, in the moment you're having fun, time goes fast, and at the end of the night you may be tired, but at least you had a fun experience.
That's a good way to put it.
Is there one you enjoy more than the other, or it's just artistic is being artistic?
I think everybody always enjoys one over the other. I would say music is definitely my passion and my favorite. But I love modeling. I also do a little bit of acting, but music is my main.
Porcelain Queen with a new dream. Shattered my seams and my self-esteem. Stronger, better on my own. Mayday.
So in terms of the music that you listen to now, I know that you're sort of very much influenced by K-pop, and I'm just curious if you could maybe tell us about how that has worked into your music and maybe your first experiences discovering K-pop.
Okay, so first of all, my first experience discovering K-pop was when I heard of the band Blackpink. I absolutely fell in love with Blackpink from their fashion, their music, and I just loved it. And I started listening to K-pop music a lot. I discovered it only like a year and a half ago, and I was like, this is really cool. Like, I want to see if I can put some of the influences in my music, and that's what I started doing, and I love it.
What are those influences? Like, what was missing, you think, from your music that didn't have the K-pop? What is it?
K-pop is very, how do I word it? It's very more electronic and very like upbeat, more than like slower songs. Right. And I never experienced since I was in Christian music, it was very more slow and acoustic. And then when I transitioned to pop music, I wanted to be different. And K-pop was something that I was not used to, and I like trying different things.
Were you surprised about the fact that K-pop is becoming so big and mainstream? Because, just watching a show like the VMAs the other night, for example, it's like a K-pop takeover right now.
Yes, I mean, I am a little bit surprised, because I'm surprised as in it's never happened before, but I'm very happy about it because, again, I love it. And Blackpink absolutely did amazing on the VMAs as well.
100%. I mean, it also seems too that a lot of female artists seem to be sort of taking center stage, because an award show like that, there was, I think, a lot more females represented, which is, nice and refreshing to see. How does that feel for you, as a female artist out there in the game?
I mean, it's good. I think everyone in this industry, male, female, we all deserve a chance to stand on a platform and, just do your best. And yeah.
No doubt. So, I mean, back in St. Louis, Missouri, that's where you're from. Maybe tell us a bit about the music scene out in Missouri at that time, and maybe what you were taking in locally.
All right. Well, I actually didn't really live in St. Louis. It was really, I was born there. So literally right when I was born and I was out of the hospital, they moved to Michigan. My family moved to Michigan. So I never got to experience St. Louis or what it was like. So Michigan was really where I grew up the most.
Okay, so hence the Raptors jersey then, because you were close to Toronto, that kind of thing. Okay, I could see that. Did you end up going across to Canada at all, or is that something you haven't done?
I love Toronto. I've been to Canada. Nice. I go there a lot for auditions and opportunities that I have there. A lot of the photo shoots and acting roles are in Toronto, and I go there a little bit, and I love it. It's a really nice city.
Yeah, no question. Is there any main differences, would you say, doing auditions or work in Canada versus the States? I mean, is there any things that you find are big differences? I
haven't seen anything that's really a big difference from auditioning Toronto compared to New York or Los Angeles. I just like it because I'm traveling, and through the process, I'm trying new things, trying new food, and just learning more about different countries is cool.
Have you ever done any live performances of your songs yet?
I have not. No live performances of the songs I release. I do a lot of like covers on like Instagram lives, and again, I used to do like coffee shops, but nothing for the songs I've released so far. But hopefully in the future, I'm excited.
So that's a goal for you then in the future.
Yes, of course, of course. I love performing. It's one of my favorite things.
That's awesome, because I mean, it'll be, easy for you to promote these dates. You have obviously, a super solid following on TikTok and other apps. When did you get in on TikTok? Were you early in the game, or was that a more recent thing for that app?
I was a little late. So,
Okay.
I mean, TikTok used to be like Musically, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't hear about Musically. And I did join TikTok a little bit later, like 2019, 2020. So all my friends and everyone were already on it, and I came in a little later, but it's cool. I like to be able to like share a little bit of my life.
Yeah, you also have a YouTube channel and stuff that you do your cover, you do fashion and your photo shoots and stuff. I was watching like the photo shoot by the ocean the other day. That was fun. So like, is there like, because like we're mainly on YouTube here, so it's like we tend to I tend to favor YouTube versus TikTok. But like, is there a preference? Is what you prefer doing?
Oh boys. I mean, I love both. I think both are different because TikTok's shorter. It's like you can have up to like 3-minute videos or like 15 seconds. But then YouTube, you're able to do as long as you want. So they really are different. I really like YouTube a lot because I'm able to share like a peek of my life more with like daily vlogs and like fashion shoots. So I'm probably going to have to go with YouTube.
Nice.
Okay. Do you see an app like TikTok sticking around for, let's say, 5 or 10 years from now, or do you think we'll be on to the next big social app?
I have no idea.
It's so hard to say.
Yeah, it's no idea what's going on with the apps, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's all about sort of just being ready for that next thing as an artist, right? Which must be a challenge. You talked about how much you love fashion. Are there any other artists, I know you talked about Blackpink, that have influenced you in terms of your style or that you really love their aesthetic or look?
I mean, Billie Eilish. I love her look. Very different. I feel like she like really came in differently from the green hair with the black hair and then the baggy clothes that were like overly baggy. Like she definitely, I think, has influenced a lot in the fashion world. So I really look up to her as well.
What are your thoughts on some of the experimental fashion? We see like the big baggy Balenciaga stuff, people sort of wearing bags over their faces. I mean, what are your thoughts on those sort of more strange, different trends?
I think it's super cool. I'm someone who loves strange. Like I like to, like I would wear probably a bag over my head in a video.
Hey, if you're walking down the runway, why not, right?
Yeah, I really love like strange. That's just, yeah.
I'm curious as you're, going back to songwriting, but like, I'm curious, how do you write your songs musically? Like, I know the lyrics is a personal content, but like musically, how do you do that?
Okay, so this is really weird. But songwriting, it's always at a random time for me. Like I'll be riding in the car, and if I have something that pops up in my head, I immediately go to my phone and I put it in notes. And it's always random. So I'll have random ideas pop up in my head at like random times. And then I get super excited about it. And I go home and for like 4 hours, I write an entire song. So it's really random.
So you write it on an acoustic kind of thing?
Yes, I pull out my guitar, I have a little journal, and I just start making something. And then I go in the studio probably the next day and I finish it as best as I can.
Do you do the studio by yourself, or is there like a producer?
I have producers that I work with that help me like produce the song, but really like I come up with the idea and then they help me bring it to life.
Yeah. Okay.
What are some of the traits, would you say, of a good producer, or maybe some of the best producers that you've worked with? What makes them the best producers in your mind?
I think every producer out here has talent because they all have like talent in different unique things, whatever music their genre, whatever they're making. I think every producer has a talent. But I think something that makes a really good producer is understanding the artist. And as a producer, if you produce anyone, I think when an artist comes in and they know what they want, instead of trying to change them is something that I really look for in producers. It's someone that can understand you as an artist and accept what you want instead of try to like change you or want you to be the way they want you. So yeah.
That's true, because like there's like two camps of producers. The ones who take what's already there and just, help you get it to where your vision is, and there's the ones that listen to you and just say, no, do it like this, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I think as an artist, it's important to know what you want to be and who you are. And I think finding a producer that believes in you for your goals and your passions, I think that's the best people you can work with.
Nice.
I would agree with that. I mean, you talked about your acting experience as well. Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about that. What types of roles have you had, and what that's been like?
Acting. I haven't really focused on acting in a really long time.
Okay.
Just because, again, I've been making more music. But when I was little, I did a lot of musical theater. So I was in like Shrek the Musical. I was in School of Rock. I played a boy, actually, which was very
There you go.
Yeah, I played Zach Mooneyham on electric guitar. So
Nice.
And so really, I grew up doing a lot of musical theater more than television acting. But now I would say I'm working more towards television, and I'm doing a lot of auditions and just want to get back into that path as well.
So like your end goal, let's say in 5 years from now, let's say, is to be what, like a top singer, top actress, model, or all?
My end goal is probably to be a world touring artist. I think that's really just what I see as my dreams and passion is, it's just being, I would say singer again, is probably my main goal in life.
How about your roots in Christian music? Is that something that you ever end up going back to? Or, I mean, is there any artists that are current that you have found are sort of standing out in Christian music?
I love Lauren Daigle. She's always been one that I look up to. I don't think I would go back to Christian music. There's really no reason why. Just because I'm really happy with where I'm at in the pop world. I think in the pop world, it's easier to reach like a bigger platform if you're trying to share a message. You'll reach more people through pop than you will in Christian music. But I mean, I love Christian music. I'm still a follower of Christ. And, one day I would hope to like use my pop platform in a Christian way as well. Like maybe talking about God, or like I think I'll reach more people through pop music than I would in Christian.
What are your thoughts on people like Kanye West, for example, who seem to have done that, basically releasing a double Christian album on his pop platform? I mean, how does that hit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has different beliefs in this world. And I think just follow your heart, follow your goals, do what you want. I noticed Justin Bieber as well is really trying to bring in more Christian and Jesus into a lot of his music and the things that he talks about. And I really look up to that. I like it. I like when people are able to stick with what they want and not really be scared of what others think.
Yeah, super, super strong traits, especially to have as an artist. So here at Watch Mojo, we're obviously well known for our top 10 list. And so we actually picked out a list to see if you could guess who would be in the top spot. And this list here is called the top 10 artists you had no idea wrote K-pop songs. So maybe I know it's sort of on the spot, but are there any guesses you might be able to throw out, or anybody you do know has written it that maybe others don't know based on your experience?
So any pop artist that I think has written a K-pop song?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna guess probably Charlie Puth.
Okay. Well, okay, this was close because number 3 was Charlie XCX. So, I mean, you got the first name right.
First name. That's close.
But were you aware that she had been involved in the K-pop world?
I did not. I'm not aware. No, that is really cool.
Okay. Number 2 on the list was Bruno Mars, who I guess has had a big hand in some of the recent stuff. And number 1, Ed Sheeran, who I guess has become a prominent name in K-pop.
Oh, that's a good one. He was like my literal second choice, but I know Charlie Puth writes for a lot of artists, so I was like, Charlie.
There's a lot of them out there.
Is there anything Ed Sheeran can't do?
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
I know Ed Sheeran can do anything, honestly.
Like we were just talking yesterday, we saw he's doing like a collab with Cradle of Filth, which is like a really heavy band. So I was like, I'm just now this, K-pop. I'm like, wow, is there anything you can't do, this guy?
It's unbelievable. So, I mean, KG, we know it's super exciting. You have a lot coming up. What can you tell the people about what's coming next for you? We know you have a Porcelain Queen. That's the next single, correct?
Yes, I'm coming out with more music. Porcelain Queen is coming out on September 16th, so I'm very excited. That song's really based off mental health awareness, so I'm excited for people to hear that.
Very nice. And you said that it was important for you to, in the future, to do some sort of philanthropy, especially around bullying. Is that correct?
Yes, actually around the song that I'm releasing, Porcelain Queen, again, it comes out September 16th. And around that time, I'm actually doing a national tour for speaking. I'm going to be speaking about anti-bullying. My tour is going to be called Be a Boss, Not a Bully. So yeah, look out. I'm excited.
That's really exciting. We have all of the socials that people need to follow down in the description below. And KG Crown, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much.
And I've lost my picture perfect love. I gave you so much, and all that I got was this ocean of nothing, and this broken picture perfect love.
We want to give a huge shout out to KG Crown for joining us on this brand new episode of Inner Sleeve. Did we tell you guys, look, what can't KG do? I mean, we warned you guys off the beginning, from YouTube to TikTok to acting, vocals. She's tackling it all, and she seems to have her head on her shoulders about how to tackle each thing, which I found interesting, Joe.
Yeah, for someone at such a young age, with already like with her brothers having done like a Christian music, background leading that, and then like going on her own, doing the modeling. I mean, like, it's just so much like, she's 14, 15 at this point, it's like very, very young, and already so advanced. But that's what you gotta like get in early in this game, I think. And that's what we're seeing a lot more of, a lot of young kids. And we're talking about young, right? So like, 7, 8 modeling or acting. And I think it's like a bit of like sort of society in the sense of like, we see like, oh, this is success, right? It's measured by how many followers, viewers, views, or how many albums you've sold, or what TV shows you're on, or who you hang out with, right? So it's kind of like that, So there's a lot of pressure for, and like, since each field is equally, I think, difficult to get into, like, why not just get them started early and get them and see what sticks, kind of thing, or which one works, or which one that the actual child is more into, or like more naturally, like kind of thing. So it's, it's kind of like you sort of have to be an actor almost. Like if you're a musician, you want to do your videos, you sort of have to act it out, So I mean,
that's the thing.
It's very natural. It's very like they're intertwined, but it's definitely interesting to see like how many. I can only imagine how many kids and people and families are hustling to make this happen,
Well, that's the thing, too, is that if you're lucky enough to get a shot in this business, if you're lucky enough to get a place in it, you don't exactly always get to pick what your role is. So, for example, maybe you want to be a singer, but you may end up going for modeling, and that may end up working for you, whereas singing may not. So I would say this is a good approach to just try different things, because again, you may not be exactly where you picture, but there's many different roles within this that a person can do. And I think the more you learn about those different roles, the better. It's not just about being the star center stage. There's a lot of factors that put that person there.
Yeah, a lot of people start off as artists and then end up managers or
vice versa,
or vice versa. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, there's no like limit to what you can do and when you should start. Like, I remember as I was 15, 16 and playing guitar already, and my friend would be giving him lessons, like, oh no, it's too late for me. I'm like, what do you mean it's too late for you? It's not like you have to do it before you're 18 or 20. You have your entire life to play guitar, your entire life to act, your entire life to sing, but we all, it's like hockey, right? Or like sports in general. It's like you think you have to, at a certain point, like football, you can't be doing it at 50. I get it if you've been doing it since you were a kid, because it's very brutal. But I mean, like, it's different with the arts, you can find success much later on, and like, or just enjoy the instrument, like you don't have to do music just to succeed at doing music. You just do music for the fun of it,
That's the thing. There's different levels to it, and there's so many ways that you can tackle it. But we definitely feel like KG is doing everything she can, and she's out here hustling like crazy. So shout out to her. Yep. Make sure to go follow her on all of her social media, of course, her YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok down below. We have all the links you guys need. Also, all the links to follow us right here at SoundMojo. We appreciate you guys tuning in for episode number 91. This has been an incredible run. We have new content every single day of the week. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Also, check out our social media pages at SoundMojo for fresh new content. And of course, stay tuned for that comms tab as well. We want to get you guys' suggestions. We'll probably react to some of your music next week and give you guys a shout out if you're enjoying the show. Am I missing anything, Joe, or are we covered here?
I think we're covered, man. Great job.
Wait, I appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. I was just fishing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 91 of Inner Sleeve. We'll catch you guys next week.